What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pensman Sports signing in for the first time. And as always, I'd like to thank everybody for commenting, subscribing. Without you guys, this would not be anything. I have two special people on the panel, JD Wyatt / Southern Fried Sports. And you guys may not know this guy because he's never been seen before up north. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Livingston live in presence. JD, kick it off.
Alrighty. So, yep, as Pensman said, we got a great show, great panel planned for you this evening. I am a Panthers fan. We have an Eagles fan in Mark. We have Pensman, the Pittsburgh fan, the Pittsburgh Steeler fan. We are going to discuss what we think our team should do in the NFL draft. We might even project a few trades between a few of our teams, or we might try to take a page out of somebody else's playbook. I don't know, like the Carolina Panthers, that I hope they do with the number 8 overall pick. We'll talk about that coming up. We will talk about, I don't know, NBA maybe. There's a couple of storylines there. We'll talk about the Final Four in college basketball. And obviously, we're going to sneak in a few fan references because at the end of the day, we are fans, right? Mark, I'm fixing to bring you into this. I want to hear from you first. The Eagles coming off of their Super Bowl win. Where do you think, and make sure to unmute yourself there, Mark. Where do you think that the Eagles are going to go, and what even pick do they have? Could you tell? I don't even know where they pick, honestly.
We had the number 32 pick in the first round. And I say they need to go defensive back, truthfully. We lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We traded him. Darius Slay. So definitely going to be thin in defensive back. We also could use the edge rusher. Brandon Graham retired. So we definitely could use somebody on the defensive line. And we have an offensive line that's actually aging. So those are the three main things. But DB, I think, is where they should go, with the first round.
Right. Well, and that's the beauty of having such a late pick, number 31. Right, Pensman? I mean, y'all are at the 21st pick. What do you think? What do you think the Steelers should do with their pick in the draft?
What do the Steelers do? Do we get Rodgers or don't we get Rodgers? If we get Rodgers that we're talking about getting, then we should get wide receiver. That guy from Ohio State, whatever his name is, Ibuka or something. Yeah, they were talking about getting him 21st. They were talking about getting Jackson Dart on 21st. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I can't wait for the draft to happen, though. A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
I like Jackson Dart, man. I think, truthfully, coming into this draft, he's behind Cam Ward is the second best. I think he's better than Shedeur myself.
That's very interesting. I think Jackson Dart.
Jay, do you have any comments about Jackson Dart?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jackson Dart. That was actually what I was going to pitch to you, Pensman, and see what you thought of it. So, I mean, at this point, what are the chances that Aaron Rodgers decides before the draft? I don't think he does. I think he strings you guys along.
I think so, too. He's holding the whole organization at hostage.
Right. I've heard
he's
waiting on the
Minnesota is what he's waiting on, man. That's who holds the cards right there, I believe.
I'm reading so many articles. I've never read so many articles about this man, and this guy's doing this, and this guy's doing that, and
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to pitch to you, though. So, could I interest you maybe in the Panthers trading you the 8 pick, and you can come up and get, who knows? I don't know what defensive lineman's going to fall that far, and that's what I'll talk about with the Panthers stuff. I'll go ahead and mention it now. I haven't given you guys my Panthers thing. But if Jalen Walker from Georgia isn't available, or Michael Williams from Georgia isn't available, I kind of want to trade back because I've seen players like Nick Emanwari, a safety whom the Panthers also need. They need to get younger on the defensive side of the ball. So could I interest you in trading up to 8 and you can come get, Jackson Dart there?
No. We traded up. Every time we traded up, we always got bust. If you guys paid attention, we went from 25th, I think, to 10th to get Devin Bush. That was a horrible mistake.
Jackson Dart at 8, man, you'd be reaching anyway because I think he'll
I
still be
know.
available like in the late round anyway. So if that's your guy, I don't think. But I do think that the Panthers would benefit from trading back because y'all got a lot of needs, man. Y'all have a lot. So I
Hmm.
think trading back, getting more picks in Carolina would be beneficial anyway. Truthfully.
Well, and you mentioned that it's a long way between pick 8 and pick
Hmm.
57. That's the Panthers' first 2 picks.
Yeah.
So if they could somehow sneak 2 more picks out of that 8th pick before player 57, the better chance you have at getting the best player available for a certain position. And that's what the Panthers need to do. Right? Pensman, right, Mark? They need to get
Yes.
anybody listening, Gamecock Chuck, P Digits, we got Josh, we got Cyber
Right.
Rusky, we got all these guys over here. Everybody comments blowing up. Appreciate y'all being here. I can't show him. That's Pensman. He'll got you if you say something pertinent to the conversation, he will
Right.
show your comment.
Right.
So right now, hey, any of you guys,
Everybody's mad at you that you're in the house. That's the main topic right now.
oh man, well, hey, what can we say? We're moving on up at Southern Fried Sports. Make sure to
That's
hit
right.
subscribe and like. We're over 200 subscribers. I did a few shorts. We're at like 8,000 views for the week, man. Yeah, we're moving on up. We ain't got to be in the garage no more. Okay.
I To answer your question, I don't know what to do. I'm not the Steelers organization. I wanted Will Howard next year. I wanted Arch Manning next year, but everybody's focused on this year. Everybody wants the old heads and not the young guns that they want to keep around for 18 years. We messed up in 2016-17 when Ben Roethlisberger went to retirement. We should have actually gotten Jalen Hurts when Ben was retiring. No offense, Mark, but we should have. But we should have, could have, had a. But
but
but the
but
Steelers messed up in their own. They fumbled. Let's put it that
but
way.
that, but that,
Now
but that's Howie Roseman playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers with that pick, my friend. Like I said, we had Carson Wentz at that time, and he still went second round with Jalen Hurts, and that's definitely
I
paid
would
off.
I would be so happy and if we had Carson Wentz this year and then we get rid of him and get a draft pick next year.
I don't see why you don't just run with Mason Rudolph this year, man, and just
We
just
should. That's the
be
option.
done with it, and then rebuild
But
for,
who
and
will?
then get something
Yeah,
next year.
you want Skylar Thompson to be our backup. We only have two backups in our listed right now.
Yeah,
That's the Steelers' problem right now. We only have two quarterbacks
there's
because
just a
we
lot
got.
of quarterbacks coming out next year, man. I
That's what
mean,
I'm
I think it's
saying.
it's gonna be a more deep, I
Let
think,
me
quarterback class.
right. It's gonna be explosive.
Hey, and I know this isn't necessarily draft related, but did y'all see what the Cleveland owner had to say about Deshaun Watson and him making that trade? At least the Panthers didn't fall into that trap
Oh, that's been a
because we
mess.
we were in the running for it, but thank goodness we didn't trade. We didn't make that trade. Whew. Missed that bullet.
Man, Deshaun Watson's an absolute thief, man. That guy just robbed the heck out of Cleveland, man.
I'm even gonna make funny. We should have even had Bryce Young at that time when Ben Roethlisberger was still going out. We should have had him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying we fumbled a lot of quarterbacks that we should have had. We shouldn't even be in the situation that we're in if we got a quarterback back then.
I gotta
But
ask Josh one thing. How you know my
that's Steelers'
nickname's
problem
Jay Drizzle, bro?
because you put it up one time.
No, I put up Jay Dizzle
Okay.
but the other one is actually Jay Drizzle because I got the drip. Stop tripping, Josh. Stay on topic. We got Cyber. He's on topic. We got P Digits on topic. He says Deshaun Watson has surely fallen. Crazy to see. I think Josh, he's just like a cheerleader. He's over here rooting for us hard. Rooting for us hard. Anyways, though, back to NFL draft talk. I don't know what the Pittsburgh Steelers should do. Obviously, you can't go into the season with Mason Rudolph as your QB1.
Why not? He matured the last time.
Uh,
I mean, could he maybe be a Sam Darnold type situation? Maybe.
but
Or a
here's the
Baker
thing.
Mayfield? Maybe.
But here's
Mark
the
and I are
thing, though. You're looking at it right now. But say you get Aaron Rodgers. Just say you get Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be good enough to get you to the Super Bowl or anything. But he's going to be good enough to get you to the playoffs. Is going to be putting you in like that hell where the 76ers used to be whenever we were like right there playing in the eighth seed in the NBA. So we were too good to get a good draft pick, but not bad enough to, I mean, we were too good to get a really good draft pick. Same thing with them. You roll with Aaron Rodgers right now, he gets you to the playoffs maybe, gets you about 10, 11 wins maybe, and then you get knocked out. And now next year, what are you going to do when Aaron Rodgers decides he's going to retire?
Right.
That's my thing.
Oh yeah, that's what's crazy to me. He's already said he doesn't want to be a mentor. So why would
Right.
Minnesota sign him?
because
You're
that's
not going to
Brett Favre-
mentor. You're not
because
going to
that was
mentor
Brett Favre's
JJ McCarthy.
Minnesota's a quarterback from a Super Bowl. Very, very possible. They got a good defense. You got the best wide receiver in the game. You got, you got weapons though, man. So if Minnesota can get him, and they're a lot closer than Pittsburgh, my opinion.
Well, my one argument though, back to that though, Mark, would be the last two quarterbacks that played for the Vikings
no
both got
way.
$100 million contracts. So they played well enough to get paid $100 million. So they were good enough to make the Super Bowl. So was it really on the quarterback?
Yeah,
Pensman, what you think?
Yeah.
I'm a little PO'd right now because the Diamondbacks just hit a grand slam, and it's 9-7 right now. So I'm a little PO'd right now.
Hey, my team is
So-
0-7.
What, you a Cubs fan?
Braves.
You almost had the Dodgers last night.
Oh yeah, almost.
Yeah,
Almost, not quite. Blew
there you
a
are.
5-0
There's a question
lead.
for you.
I don't even know who that is. Who is Chris Turk?
I don't know.
Pay him all the money, Joshua. If you recommend him, and if you don't recommend him, don't pay him all the money. Whatever your opinion is, I share your opinion, Josh. How about that? Good gracious. What kind of... That's like somebody asking me about hockey, Pensman. I don't know nothing about hockey. I can't even see puck.
Besides, the whole franchise needs help. Who would you draft if you're the Panthers?
Oh, they got to get younger on defense. Got to
Defense is
get
your
younger on
defense
defense.
is your
Yeah.
weak.
Yeah. I mean, Bryce Young, I think, with the core of wide receivers coming back, with Rico Dowdle coming in, you got Chuba Hubbard. They beefed up their offensive line last year in free agency. So they got to get younger on defense. If they can stop people from scoring 30, 24, I think Bryce can put up 25 to 27 a game. So I think the offense will be in a better position. Xavier Legette, hopefully he's catching some footballs while he's riding his horses down here in Mullen, South Carolina. But
And
Dave
skinning
Canales,
raccoons.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. If you've never seen that video, please look that up. Xavier Legette eats raccoons. He says they skin them and they eat them. If you've never seen it, look it up.
JD,
And
everybody
then,
wants JD, everybody wants to know where Mark's from and what's he's about.
okay, yeah, we'll get him right into it. But yeah, as far as the Panthers, they got to get younger on defense. And then, yeah, Mark, we never did share your handles and what you're a part of. So, Mark, tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, my name is Mark Livingston. I am a reporter for Greenville Sports Media. You can find I'm also with Sideline Sports. I cover Wofford College out here in South Carolina. Um, I'm a student at Penn State University World Campus. So I go to Penn State online. So, go Nittany Lions also. Um,
Boo,
I'm what's that?
boo, just messing.
Nah, we don't went through this, my friend. We don't went through this. So
I
yeah,
know.
Phillies, Eagles,
You can
76ers,
answer
man.
this.
Those are my
You,
pro teams.
you, you, you can answer that.
No,
What's that?
Sideline Sports Network,
Yeah, Sideline
Joshua.
Sports Network.
Yeah, he covers for
Yeah,
Wofford. Nothing to do with Sideline JB Ellis. I don't believe. Of course, I think he might be the owner. I don't know,
Yeah,
but I
it's
don't know.
Sideline
I
Sports
don't know if
Network.
Mark knows him or not. Yeah, it's Sideline
Nah,
Sports Network,
yeah,
Wofford, and Greenville Sports Media,
and
and then
Greenville
of
Sports
course
Media.
Pensman. Of course, we can't go on without shouting out South Florida Tribune as well.
that's right. That's right. Got that right. So, if I
Dylan
was
was
the
gonna
if
see.
no, if I was the Steelers right now, I would get a running back to replace. Yeah, I know. All right, I would get replace Najee Harris right now,
Mm.
and then I'll get Ashton Gently right now. You ask me if I would move up to 8. I'll move up to 8 to get Ashton Gently if he was still available because there's
All
so
right,
many.
sold.
That's what I would do.
Sold because yeah, Panthers don't need a running back. So if that's who you want, give me your 21st and give me your 42nd. Bang bang, chicken gang. You can have
Oh
it.
no, no, you can't have 21st and 42. You're crazy.
Yeah, well, we got to swap first, and then no. If you're trading up 13 spots, I mean,
Yeah,
we got. Hey, the Panthers have to make up for trading up to number 1 years ago when they gave up their best wide receiver and drafting a rookie in Bryce Young.
Mark,
So
you gotta teach
we
this
got to
boy how to
compensate.
draft.
No,
Yeah, I mean they're not
that's not
going
too
to. They're
much
not
to
going
ask. That's not too much. It's
to. No,
swapping. It's all it is swapping first, and you give me your second. That's it.
nah,
Mark,
Y'all are
dude.
nah,
crazy. I swear. Would
Nah.
anybody else? Would anybody else in the chat take that trade? I
I give
guarantee.
you my second round pick next year.
No,
yeah,
no, I got to be this year.
I have, I
I
have
mean,
a
he's not
ton.
trading up
I
to
have
number
tons of
one now,
drafts
man. He's
next
trading up to
year.
number 8.
I'll even sweeten the pot, and I'll give you my 7th. I'll give you my 7th in addition.
I
But
mean,
You're
no, there
nuts.
ain't no way. There ain't no way you're fleecing me, letting you move up 13 spots. Nope. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
I
but
gotta,
but
I
you're looking
gotta
at
get,
like you
I
look at
gotta get
13 spots.
your
He's moving up
first.
to number 8. He's not moving up to number 2 or 3 or 1, man. He's like I said, you're not gonna get that type of ransom for the number 8 pick though.
I
For
want to hear.
people to move up 2 spots,
I want to hear
we've
Mark's.
seen them give up first and second. Sorry.
Hold on, Jay. I will give you 8. Move up to 8 and give you Mika Fitzpatrick.
Okay. Okay.
Now that's
Mika
yeah.
Fitzpatrick is like he's pretty much done. So
Yeah, there you go.
you can have Mika.
Because that'll make up for one of the second picks that I'm trying to spend on a safety
You
anyway.
choose players, not to take 42. You can't have. We want our 42 for Ibuka.
No, I don't think he's fallen that far.
Oh yeah, it's possible. Possible.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm curious to see how far Abdul Carter might fall.
Abdul Carter is not falling, son.
You
Abdul
think he's going
Carter would
number
be in
one overall?
Cleveland with the second pick.
You don't think they take Shador?
No, I don't. I don't think at all.
Okay, well, how about how far will Travis Hunter fall?
Travis Hunter don't get past the Giants. I don't think.
What were you about to say, Pensman?
Mark. Oh, oh boy. They need Travis Hunter might go down to Carolina's path. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I think if he falls past the Giants, he doesn't fall past New England.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
What were you about to say about Abdul Carter, Pensman?
Oh, that's what I was saying. He might drop down to seventh or eighth if because the Giants are going to go get a quarterback because the Titans they're going to get Cam Ward. The Giants are going to get Shador unless
Mm.
unless they have something. They get Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, but they're talking about getting a draft pick on that too. I don't know what the Giants are really planning on, but they're talking about drafting a quarterback and getting rid of one of their quarterbacks next year.
Giants are a mess, though, man. So I mean,
And their and
they
their
they
G
could.
and Shohan said that they're going to get the best player available. So they're not
But do you
eyeing
think
anybody over.
Shador's the best player available at that pick, though, man? I mean, really and truly, you can go down to the second round and get somebody like that Stroop kid or something, and who I think could be just as good. I'm just not sold on Shador myself. I mean, just I'm just not sold on him.
That's interesting.
I like him. I'm just not sold on. Not as the three. It's not the number three pick. I just I think if you pick him at number three, you just pick him because you want a quarterback. And I don't think that in any other draft he's the number. You know, he's the number three pick. I think I'm just not sold on it that high. I think the Giants go. I think the Giants take Travis Hunter myself, and they roll with Russell Wilson and Jameis this year, and then they retool next year with a quarterback.
I think the Giants might have already given up on this year. The fact that they bring back Brian Dayball again and they give
He's
him
not a bad
He's not a
coach
bad
though.
coach, though, man. I mean,
He's
what
they
has
not.
he
just have
done though? I know
they have
there's
a
a
mess of a
ton of
roster.
They
hey
almost they
exactly,
almost
but
hold on, they almost made the playoffs his first season.
First of all, JD,
Don't look at me
he
like
didn't pay
that.
Daniel
What you,
Jones. He didn't pay Daniel Jones $100 something million and pass up on Saquon Barkley. That's not him, man. The GM's putting them in bad situations, dude. Now,
that's what I'm
granted,
saying.
I'll take
That's
it, man. That was
upward.
a gift to us, but
do they have a new GM? I don't know. I think they've
No,
already given up on this year.
you're
now,
looking
now,
at the
now
wrong person, JD.
yeah,
You're looking at the
I
wrong
think Dayball
person.
is fine. You put him in the right situation. I mean, but they're like I said, they drafted Malik Neighbors last year, so that was a good start. But once again, you paid Daniel Jones a crap ton of money, and it didn't pan out, and you paid him all that money. And now he's getting paid a whole lot of money to sit the bench in what Minnesota or something now. So I mean, nah, dude, I think that you pointed the wrong person.
If
You may be
don't
right.
don't don't
Go
take
ahead,
this
man.
offensive. Don't take this offensive, Mark. But if you get rid of Nick Sirianni and you switch to him to put him in Philly, be in the playoffs instantly.
Well, see, Philly. The thing with Philly is, man, is their secret weapon is Howie Roseman is as the GM. He
That's what
drafts
I'm
good.
saying.
He makes good
If you
trades.
get Brian instead of Sirianni, it would still be the same results in Philly.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, JD, see,
Absolutely, absolutely,
Mhm.
without a doubt. Like I said, we
It's the GM,
Roseman
not Brian.
makes
Brian's not the
yeah,
problem.
yeah. How he makes trades, he went he made trades to get Jalen Carter that time.
Come on,
He drafted. Jalen Hurts in the second round. You know, made a trade to get DeAndre Swift a while back. Traded like nothing for that. And when I got Saquon Barkley, when the Giants didn't want to pay him what 12 million or something. Nah, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you put Brian Daboll in Philly, he does the same thing, man. Easily.
See,
That's
JD, see, you're
interesting.
you're looking at the wrong
Interesting.
person. Not everybody's Mike McCarthy. Not everybody's Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl. Brian Daboll does not, nor has he even
Hard,
been
help me
close.
out here.
I'm
Okay,
just saying.
so
I'm just
so
saying.
Mike McCarthy won one Super Bowl with a future Hall of Fame Aaron Rodgers, who he probably should have won more if you really look at it. So come on, man, you got to make a better argument than that, my friend.
Hey,
I mean,
I was
so you
just
say
saying.
so? Can I tell you this? Then Mike McCarthy, you give him Daniel Jones as his quarterback. Then does he win a Super Bowl?
Let me see how this year goes for Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, and I'll get back to you on that. And so, yeah, that's
I
what
mean,
we were about to come to. We'll clear out some comments. Go ahead, Mark. Finish up what you were saying, and then
no,
Pensman. Yeah,
I mean,
we'll roll
because
some
he has
comments.
Dak Prescott right now, and that Prescott I think is better than Daniel Jones, and he still can't do anything there. So I mean, you won one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers in his prime. So I'm sorry, not going to sit there and compare Brian Daboll with Mike McCarthy, my friend. Can't do that one.
I mean, Mike McCarthy has also won a lot of regular season games. Brian Dayball has not. But yeah, we'll pin that conversation. Maybe we'll
So,
do.
Absolutely.
We'll get you guys maybe one day, me, you, Pensman again, because this conversation I feel like has gone really well. Also, Mark, there was someone earlier. They gave you a piece of advice. They said, "Man, grab you a chair and a beer and have a seat." I forget who it was, but I did tell them that was solid advice. And I would be remiss to mention, Pensman. Of course, you and I normally are on with Candy and Ralph and George.
right
And then
now,
there's
yeah.
Scott. Yep. And all of the people at South Florida Tribune. So if I don't cover anybody from the South Florida Tribune, it's not because we're disrespecting them, Joshua. It is because that we are having a conversation and doing a sports show, sir. So if you want to chime in and you want to contribute to the conversation, you are more than welcome to do so. But if you don't have anything positive to say about what we are talking about, you can go find something else to watch, brother. All right? Listen, I'll fry anybody. This is my show. I'm leading this show. We take time out of our day to do this. And if you don't like it, kick rocks, little dude. All right? I love you. I appreciate you being here. But we're going to talk about what we want to talk about. If you want to send me a topic, my email is open. My Twitter is open. Send me a topic. But don't come in here asking me about Tesla and people I don't know about. Stick to sports. That's what we do.
I'm
We're
going
all
back.
sports guys.
I'm going back to what he said though. That Chris does look sound familiar though. I don't know why.
He's probably a hockey guy, but I don't know hockey.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
And I'm not trying to
If he,
blast anybody, but I'm just saying, like,
that's what
y'all
I'm trying to
cool.
figure out if he is or
We'll
not.
show the comments. I promise. If I had access to do it, I'd show them all. But we're not currently on my channel. So
The
Pensman,
names, cyber,
he's
the
working
name,
hard.
the names there. I just can't put a face to it.
All right,
But
here all right,
I,
here. Let me, for the love of God, let me look up Chris Turk.
there you go.
All right,
Why you
and
do
then
that? Why you do that?
yeah,
I have a
go
question
ahead.
for Mark. Mark, but we touched a little bit about it. But what would you do in the first round if you're Howie Roseman? We talked about the Steelers and the Panthers. What would you do in the first round if you're the Eagles, Mark?
I mean, like I said, we're number 32, so we're pretty far down.
Right.
Um,
But would you trade up for somebody?
It kind of depends on who's on the board. I don't think like if I know Howie, he's always looking to trade, and if there's somebody he wants on the board, I mean he's gonna trade up to go after him. Um,
I'm not bashing you, but you got rid of Sweat, you got rid of Graham, you already got rid of CJ.
right.
So I'm just trying to figure out what are you going to do to fill those holes.
Well, and that's the thing. Um, like you have Eamon Warrior at safety, who I like, of course. That he may look into. Um, a lot of people said that he's going to go with he's going to stay pat at 32 and draft like the edge I think from Tennessee, I believe. I can't think of his name, but like me personally, I would like to see him. Like I said, I'd like to see him trade up and be aggressive because once again, we our defensive backfield especially is hurting. So I like him in Warrior myself. So I would love to see him go get some help.
Right.
Like I said, we lost CJ, we lost Darius Slay, Brandon Graham.
And
He.
we appreciate you giving us Darius Slay. We appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, that was like a gift, wasn't it? I mean,
Have him.
and it was the same thing with CJ. So I don't know. I can understand I can understand Darius Slay a little bit more because he's kind of aging up a little bit, but CJ he did good with Philly both
He's going there.
times.
Right. He's going there for Darius is going there just to be a leader. That's all.
Oh yeah.
He still has
Oh
some
yeah.
stuff left in the tank, but most of the time he's going to be like a leader, the leader
Yeah.
mentor, be
Oh
like
yeah, no doubt.
big brother.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. He still could give you some, he still could give you some good plays, man, because Darius Slay was still really good, but the one I didn't understand was CJ was letting go of CJ, man. That one puzzled me, because you let him go one time, and he went to Detroit for like nothing, and then he came back, and he
Right.
played really really good, and then we let him go again. So I'm not really certain, but so I'm going to assume that he's got this. How he has his eyes on somebody in the draft, man. That's the only thing I can think of, but.
We talked
Like
about
I,
Carter. Will he trade up and get Carter?
oh man,
Uh,
it
From
it depends on how
31.
far Abdul will fall, man.
Yeah, no.
Um,
That's what I'm saying.
like
Will you take that gamble and trade up and get him?
oh, without a doubt, dude. To me, Abdul Carter is the one guarantee in this draft.
Because you guys missed out on Miles Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we're not going to trade up from 32 to number 2 to get him, of course.
No, of course not.
You'd have to give up who knows how many draft picks to get that. But if for some crazy reason Carter falls, kind of like Jalen Carter did that time, man. You know how everybody wanted to pass up on Jalen Carter, and and then how he traded up and went and snatched him. So if Abdul Carter falls, man, which I don't think he does, I still think he lands in Philadelphia. I mean, not Philadelphia. Shit, I wish in Cleveland. But yeah, if he falls, man, like I said, I can see how we making trading up to get him because we don't have that much. Like we need to get younger on the O line, because our O line is getting old, still really good, but getting older. But like I said, defensive side, defensive line, and DB is where we really need help at though. But yeah, I would trade up for Abdul Carter in a second, kid.
I mean, he is that dude. I don't know. His injury stuff will definitely be interesting. But we're going to move off
Right.
of NFL draft talk. I did want to
JD,
say one thing.
JD, would you do that?
No,
Go ahead.
no, I wouldn't. I wanted to say
Go ahead.
this. Christopher Turk is a fictional character from
Look,
the series Scrubs. Never seen it. Never seen it. So sorry, I don't know Christopher
Okay.
Turk, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a hockey guy. He's not even
Okay.
sports related. Anyways, Yeah, so let's move
Okay.
off the NFL
Alright.
draft. We've talked about that for 36 minutes. Let's hit,
Right.
and no, I wouldn't trade up from. I don't think the Eagles are trading up to. They're just going to take the best available player. I think
I,
they'll sit right where they are. But anyways, how about the final four, you guys? I know we've got Pensman, a Duke fan. Mark is a Gamecock fan. I'm a Gamecock fan. So we don't really have much to say about this conversation. So Pensman, how are you feeling about Duke's chances?
Pretty good. I think they're gonna cruise by Houston, and I think Florida's gonna beat. I think Florida's gonna win their game, but I think they're gonna struggle against Florida.
I don't know, Mark. What are you thinking, man?
man, I think it's going to be Florida and Duke in the finals. Um, but as far as who wins, I tell you what, my bracket, I have one bracket with Duke winning and one bracket with Florida winning. So I don't really. That was gonna be a tough one, man. I think I don't even know. Like I would say in basketball, if you have the best player on the floor a lot of times though in an even game, then your chances of winning are pretty good. And Cooper Flag's definitely that dude. So I would get the edge to Duke just simply because of that.
I think Duke is favored. Last I saw was 5.5 points. I
There are.
think Duke. I think Duke wins the game. However, I would take Houston and the points.
I got
Would
timeout. Hold on. Timeout. Hold on, one quick. Hold that thought. Do not capitalize anything in the chat. Do not. If you capitalize, you're gonna wake that thing up. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Brian, you know better. Do not capitalize anything. If you want to say Gators win, which is fine, make sure you don't capitalize it. Because capitalizing is like spamming. You do not want to do that. Keep going. You're good,
I?
Cyber. You're good. Just do not capitalize anything.
I don't think I have that option. But I was wondering who Nightbot was.
I'll 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 run by it. I'll teach you.
Yeah, no,
There you
Nightbot ain't
go.
bothered me. Yeah, there we go. So Brian, he says Gators win. That's the one thing about the Gators. I know they have William Clayton Jr., who a lot of people have said is the next Steph Curry. Let's pump those brakes a little bit, people. I don't think the next Steph Curry might not even be alive yet. Like y'all, meh. He is very good, but Florida gets behind a lot. I saw him down 9 to Texas Tech. Apparently, I control everything in the world. Texas Tech basketball. I don't know if you guys saw this short I did, but I said, could Florida be the first one seed to lose? And they ended up coming back and winning. And I was like, oops, they came back to win. And a Texas Tech fan blamed it on me. Little old JD in Simpsonville, South Carolina, had effect on the game. Get out of here. You know, we'd like to think that if we turn off
That's
our TV,
hilarious.
if we turn off our TV, they might play better. I do that sometimes. Or if I'm listening on the radio, they might, but we have zero effect on the game, right, guys?
Bro, I used to go to bed when the game was so bad and the other team and my team came back to win. That's how bad it got.
That's happened to me once when I was rooting for LeBron real hard when he went to the Heat. They were down like 26 to the Hawks, and I was like, oh, I'm not watching this. And they literally came back and won. I was like, what the world? You guys are funny though. We appreciate y'all being here very much. We really do. Just keep it. Listen, if
So
you want to listen to the show, listen to the show.
so JD, what do you think about the women's side? Since South Carolina beat my Duke Blue Devils by 4 freaking points.
Two. We only beat them by
54-50.
two. No,
50
54-52.
That's what they said, 54-50, but
Yeah,
the
it's
game
54
was
52.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
okay,
54, 52.
but anyway, how do you feel about your South Carolina?
Mark, I'll be interested to hear what you're going to respond to what I say. I've if the game here, let me ask it like this. Let me start over. What was Dawn Staley talking about? Complaining about getting the number
I
one
knew
overall seed?
I
Is she
had
out
a
of her
feeling you were going to
mind?
go there.
Is she out of her mind? She literally had the easiest road because I'll tell you this: whomever wins between UConn and UCLA will smoke the Lady Gamecocks again in the national championship game, just like they did in the regular season. This Gamecocks team is not what it was in years past.
Mm-mm. If South Carolina wins this, it'll be the best coaching job Don Staley's done. Because you don't have
Fact.
Aaliyah Boston, you don't have Asia Wilson, you don't have Camila Cardosa. You don't have the same dogs that you had. You lost your best defensive player earlier in the year in Ashton Watkins. You know, your best player right now is Chloe Kitts, who she's good and all, but she's you've had people who are like top five, picks in the draft. Leah Boston, Asia Wilson, number one pick in the draft when they went. Camila Cardoso was what, number four last year, I believe. So I mean, truthfully, they don't have nothing in the paint. If they had to play UCLA, what's that female's name, Betts or whatever her name is, would eat them alive again. So, and they have no answer for Paige Becker either with UConn. So nah, I don't like South Carolina's chances on this one.
No, and then with the Gamecocks with Dawn Staley, she got the better side of the bracket
Mm.
because she didn't have to face USC, UCLA, or UConn. So, like, what you complaining about, bro? Did you want an early vacation?
Yeah, I mean, right now your best player is like Chloe Kitts right now, or Joyce Edwards coming off the bench. I mean,
Or
but we
full
don't have
Wally?
nobody dominant in the paint though right now, and that's going to kill us. That's going to kill South Carolina.
Chloe has stepped up a little bit, but yeah, she's no
I mean, Chloe's playing
dominant
good,
player.
man, but she don't strike no fear in nobody. I mean, she's played well. I mean, but I mean, especially during the tournament. But she's not, like I said, Camila Cardoso, who would block your shot, post you up. I mean, Aaliyah Boston, same thing. I just if South Carolina wins this would be the best coaching job Don Staley's done, hands down.
Yeah, I agree with that. Pensman, you got any thoughts on the women's Final Four?
Well, I just want to let you know, since you brought up South Florida, Candy and Scott are at Tampa right now, getting ready to cover the Final Four. So he gets to
Mm-hmm.
meet Gino. So hopefully UConn wins for Scott since he's a Gino fan and he picked UConn to win. So just want to point that out. So
But Paige Becker right now is playing like on another level right now, though. So
do you
Gino even
think,
cried the other day.
JD, do you think if Juju, if she didn't get hurt, do you think do you think they would have made the Final Four?
Mm-mm.
You don't think?
No,
Both of you
just
don't
because
think that
I've picked
they
UCLA all year.
okay?
they
Because
would have had to go up
that
against UConn in the Elite Eight, and I don't
yeah
think I
no
don't I don't think I think I give UConn the edge in that one.
okay.
Even though Juju is absolutely ridiculous, don't get me wrong, but
That's why I asked if she was healthy and she was playing that game. Do you think that they would have passed UConn? I don't think so, but it's just I want to hear you guys' thoughts.
I I feel like I said, you go with experience also, Gino and Paige Becker right now. Paige Becker kind of realizes though, to be considered a UConn great, you got to win. You got to win the whole thing, or you're just another person. And she's playing like that right now. I don't think UConn gets stopped. I think UConn wins the whole thing.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I'm probably right there with you.
I think South Carolina gets to the championship, but I think UConn wins the whole thing.
Yeah, apparently Tampa is too far from Texas for the Texas Longhorns to win, according to Vic Schaefer, because he got mad during the SEC tournament that the tournament was in Greenville and it was so far from Texas that the home advantage just
Well, y'all
won
the
the
ones who
game.
chose to come to the SEC.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yep,
you
I
know,
agree.
y'all made that. They made that decision, so he can sit down with that. Nobody's trying to hear that nonsense. But you gotta make an excuse though, man. Somebody's gotta make an excuse. And like I said, South Carolina is the elite team. You could have played that game in Egypt, and South Carolina still win that one. So it doesn't even matter.
Oh yeah.
Egypt. We just had an Egypt drop on the show, y'all.
I'm
That was hilarious, though. You nailed
just
that. I
saying,
agree.
man. I mean,
I
it
agree.
doesn't. I'm just saying it doesn't matter where you played that game at. But I mean, who cares? Because you got like I said, you play in the what did you play the SEC men's was what in Nashville? What does that get Vanderbilt like a home field advantage, a home court advantage, and no matter where you play it at, somebody's going to be close to home. So Texas chose to come to the SEC, so you know, take your
Right.
medicine there, amigo.
I feel you there. All right. And so while we're on controversial subjects, because that was certainly controversial what Vic Schaefer said that day,
Oh yeah.
how about what Ja Morant and Buddy Hield did during their game? We know Ja Morant has had issues with flashing guns in videos, but this time I applaud him because he used his finger guns while pointing to the Golden State Warriors bench. Are you stupid or something, bro? They already started penalizing football players for this. It's certainly going to start happening now with NBA players, and you already have a history of showing guns. So, Pensman, I'll let you lead it off. What were your takes when you saw Ja Morant flashing his finger shotgun at the Golden State Warriors bench?
He should have just got fined. He should have just racked up the fines like he did last year and keep the fines coming. Because in football, that's a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. That should be $100,000 fine for taunting the other team. So you can't do that. That fires up other teams. If you do that, you don't want to fire the other team up if you're winning. That's a no no.
Right on. And Mark, what were your thoughts on it?
I just look at John like, man, you gonna learn, dude. Like for real.
Is he ever gonna learn now?
I don't. I love John. Don't get me wrong. But number one is you're firing the finger guns at the Golden State bench.
And they
I'm sorry,
lost.
man.
Memphis lost.
I'm sorry, man. Steph Curry is not somebody I want to get. I want to wake up, and I mean,
Oh, he
uh,
was already fully awake that game. He hit 13
exactly,
three-pointers.
exactly. And nah, I like Ja. Don't get me wrong, man. I mean, he came from South Carolina, so but I just don't think he's ever going to learn, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I could agree there. Depends when you got anything else right there.
Nope.
Yeah. It just seems Ja Morant won't mature. It
You
doesn't
know,
seem. I I think given his history for being suspended for guns already,
He reminds me
him
of
point.
George. He reminds me of George Pickens a lot.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
a
I
good
can see
comp.
that.
That's a good comp.
Good player, but he's just stupid when he does the little things.
Yeah,
You can't do that.
has fantastic talent, fantastic potential,
Right.
but they can't get out of their own way. And so, all right, and to wrap that all in together, hopefully Dave Tepper gets out of his own way regarding the Panthers draft this year. And again, y'all, this has been Southern Fried Sports, at JDWyatt06 on Twitter is where you can find me. We appreciate Cyber and Josh and Brian. And I saw P Digits and Gamecock Chuck. All you guys for being here. Mark, it's been a blast. I'll let you give your random story for the week, if you've got one, and where everybody can find you.
No, I don't have any real random story for the week, but you can find me at on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it now, at Mark4070. Also SSN underscore Wofford for my Sideline Sports Network. I will be in Spartanburg covering the Wofford baseball game this weekend. Next weekend I'll be at the spring practice. Next weekend covering football. So, you know, not really a whole lot going on this week for me because I got midterms. So my face will be in a book as soon as I get off this. So.
Hey, credit to you for being a student. Pensman, do you have any random sports takes or sports stories for the week? And tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, I'm currently watching the New York Yankees defeating the Arizona Diamondbacks 9-7 right now, and the Torpedo Bats have calmed down from Sunday, and because it's 9-7, so America, you can shut up about the Torpedo Bats being cheating. So, and the Pittsburgh Penguins, they're tied at 1 in the second period. So, that's my take on that's what's happening. Nothing pretty much going on right now. All I ask is for everybody to subscribe to everybody on these panels. Mark could not share his channel, but Mark has a channel. Southern Fried has a channel, and I have a channel. So go find them. We all have X accounts, so go subscribe. If you want to know, message them, and they will tell you.
Right on. Absolutely. Yeah, make sure to hit subscribe on Greenville Sports Media. Mark Livingston, he's got a YouTube page. Just search Mark Livingston. I'm pretty sure you can find it that way. If not, feel free to message me. You can find me anywhere. Everybody knows my nickname, apparently. You can find me anywhere. And so we're going to steady do these shows. We're always going to give the best sports take, sharp opinion. Maybe we'll be objective, but I doubt it. And we'll also interact. If you talk about the things that we're talking about, see, that's the thing. When you do shows, people, you plan questions to ask, okay? And then the fans that are listening to the show answer the questions that the people on the show are talking about. So whenever y'all want to get on topic and talk about the things that we're talking about, we'll be more than happy to interact with you. Pensman, don't forget what Scott's got a book, right? Or something like that we need to mention maybe. And then we can sign on off, get on out of here. Y'all make sure to hit like, follow, share, subscribe, and bang, bang.
I'm trying to figure out. Right there. No, that's not it. Yeah, there it is. There's
There we
Scott's
go.
book. There's Scott's book. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. I can't do what Candy does, but yeah, it's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, wherever you can find your books. So go take a look. And if you, I'm sure he'll autograph it for you.
Lessons from the microphone, people. So shout out to everybody at South Florida Tribune, Sideline Sports Network, Pensman Sports. We appreciate y'all being here. I think that's about a wrap for us, though.
We will see you next time.
Good night.